My name is Lumberjack Lou. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to all of my adventures. Currently, we are here in Southeast Alaska on a piece of property that we bought sight unseen, and you know, I'm really starting to get acclimated to this whole Alaska thing. I got my suspenders on today. Really feeling the lumberjack vibes. So if you're new here and you want to see all of the adventures we have, specifically this summer here in Alaska, make sure to click the subscribe button, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the family. It's an ultra cloudy, rainy day. A classic Southeast Alaskan day. I just want to show you how much water has been collected from the Jeep in one night. It gets pretty friggin' moist in here. Check out these, we believe these are red huckleberries. We're gonna go back when we go home, or back to the RV park. We're gonna double check, but that's a pretty bush.
And if they are,
we're about to pick those. This is kind of gonna be our garden area. We figured out, we met one of our neighbors' son and a daughter-in-law this weekend, and we learned a little bit about like their homestead and stuff, and yeah, south facing is the way to go. Kind of knew that, but then seeing their garden, it really made sense to me. So now I'm kind of like, this would be a good area to put some stuff eventually.
It's gonna have to be terraced for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're kind of just walking around right now trying to figure out what projects we want to do next.
Exploring parts that we haven't been to.
I'm trying to figure out what we want to do, because it's really, these stairs are really putting a wrench in our plans. But Tommy, a tree hugger. I love all these hemlocks, they're so beautiful.
We could have a treehouse greenhouse.
That would be cool.
Do like a platform right in this area.
That would be lit.
And just to grow, like, do like seedlings and like tomatoes or whatever, you know?
That could be cool.
And then do terraced.
Down here.
I can totally see this being terraced. Like, look at this.
It's just like, you start looking at the land and you're like, oh, like, this is literally like...
It could be like, okay, our lettuce is here. Our squashes are there. Our beans are there, or whatever, you know? Yeah. After
seeing our new friends, Homestead, it really was very inspiring. I think last week was really nice because we took a break, we really needed it, and we got to enjoy some of the good weather instead of like working through all of the good weather, which was really nice. And I think it really showed me that like, it's possible. This is so possible. The spirit of the North is alive and well. And I think we just hadn't met any people like that yet on the island, you know?
Yeah.
Like, our friends Rosie and Dan are very, you know, open to things, but
they're more
traditional. Meeting their kids,
yeah,
really
non-traditional,
very non-traditional, and them talking about their friends on the island, and their friends' homesteads, and people who are older, like in their 60s and 70s,
who've had homesteads for like 40 years.
Yeah, who have had 40 years, and how awesome those are. And I'm sure we'll meet these people eventually and get to see their spots eventually. But it was just really eye-opening and really like inspiring. Like they have a trail that was like a quarter of a mile long, and they
mind you, it was flat ground.
It's flat, but then they like, it was a quarter of a mile long, and they brought all their stuff through there, as well as they're like on the water, so the tide would go in and out, and so they would have to time things right to bring wood in on a boat. And
now
you know, they went through a lot to get to where they are, and like seeing their property 5 years later
gave me hope.
Sure. And 5 years from now, we can be they're living pretty comfortably and having some of their first big harvests and things this year. So it was really very inspiring.
For sure.
And you know, yeah, I just feel good about it all.
Me too. I feel a lot better than we did before. All I see up there is Devil's Club.
It's all up there. That's where I think the water comes down. The only thing about doing stuff on here that I'm nervous about is the trees, like cutting trees. That's all.
Yeah.
Everything else, I feel very confident that we can learn and that we can do it safely. The trees, though,
Like those two leaners.
Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all saw the leaners in previous videos, but I'll show you.
A different angle, I think.
Check those leaners
they're
out.
Like crossing. They're like,
they call them leaners here.
Look, it's making an X.
It's like, So those are gonna get cut down very soon. Again, we're still waiting on a lot of stuff, but it's just nice being here. I wish we could bring the dogs up here, but it's not safe for them yet. But once they're up here, oh my gosh, they're gonna love it.
It's really fun being up here though, and like
Chilling,
figuring just being here is wonderful. But like thinking about other stuff that's not the trail is really nice.
It's so nice.
Like seeing where we're gonna probably garden, and like
it's a process, man.
It is.
They say that you should have a good year of like just observing the land, which we're not gonna be here this winter, but we'll be here early spring when it's pretty wet too. We won't see the iciness, but that'll have to be next year.
Yeah.
So we're doing what we can.
Yes.
It's a work day. It's a beautiful work day. Look at these trees. I just love them so much. Every single one of them, I just want to be like, you are beautiful, magical.
Next to is amazing.
Yeah, I hugged it.
Like, holy smokes.
Welcome back to our little hellscape part of the trail. We added a little more gravel in today, what we could bring up from what we had left over from the people at the hardware or at the lumberyard giving it to us for free. I mean, every little bit counts at this point. Obviously, we're going to need to pass on more and more here, but it's a start. And our little stairs held up. Still waiting on our blade to cut a rebar down. And we removed the wood from here. And we have decided that we are going to go with a retainment wall here. Probably have someone design that for us because safety. But yeah, after taking a week off and looking at what the work we have done, it's really amazing. I love these stairs. It's just like so cool that we built them, with our own hands. Next on the list of things we are doing today, cooking wise, is we helped some friends harvest a little bit of their garlic, part of their garlic haul. Like they had rows and rows of it, and afterwards our friend gave us some garlic. So we are going to make some garlic oil with some of them, and then probably keep the rest. But it smells so much like garlic. Oh, fresh garlic.
You have to get the skin off of it though. There's like a...
Yeah, it's because it's not dry all the way. It's harder to get the skin.
Yeah, there's like a thicker outer layer.
Look at this one. That's a whomper.
That is.
Spirit of Jeep cooking. Using a bowl to crush stuff. Ooh. Candy crush. Garlic crush. You're gonna look at this bowl of garlic and be like, oh my gosh.
It's also a different kind, I think.
I think we should do one of these bunnies when we're ready. Okay, so 4 cups.
Yeah, 4 cups.
The biggest thing of oil. And then we put some chili flakes in there.
And then you let it cook for 5 minutes, and then you let it cool down, and put it in the jars.
So good looking. Morning. Our morning view of the mountains. Whatever they are, animals really like them. It seems, because they always seem to be chewed on. So big and bootyful. Look at that. It's so green today.
I think it's just like really, I don't know, when they're wet, it's just greener.
So we wanted to come all the way here.
All the way up there, right?
That's how many feet? 16.
Almost 16. It's like,
Those are 16, right?
these are 12.
Those are 12. You could do 12. Wait, will you pull it into 12?
Yep.
That's how we make our life easy.
Yeah. I mean, we could just do it to that log right there.
Yeah, we could just place the fucking thing right here.
Right? Wedge it in
I
right there.
We should move one of those over here just to...
Yeah, just to see.
Yeah. Well, okay, what I'm also thinking is, like, look how even it is. We'll have to get the evener, but with a log just on that side, you know? What if we just did it into the ground? Like, obviously, that's not, like, super great, but maybe we could lift it with, like, a few rocks under it or something to help preserve it a little bit, you know, instead. And then, well, then we have to think of a way to put it into the ground.
Well, we could use a smaller one of those logs under that.
Yeah.
And just like dig a little trench for the log.
Yeah.
The log's like secured into the ground.
And then we can secure it
then
into...
we can bolt it into the log.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
It'll be up a little bit, right?
Yeah, I like
that. And then
that.
cut this down, put that log underneath, do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And
then call it a day.
even it, and then
Yeah, even it out
we
as
should...
much as we can.
Yeah, we should see if we can get the rebar to go into it. Yeah, we're gonna need bolts to put into the wood.
Wood, yeah.
But let's lay all that out first and then do that. Yeah. It sounds easy.
We'll see once we get down into
it. Once we start doing it, will it be easy? This is bridge number 2 of 2 that we're working on. We decided to just move the wood up here and...
What we could do is use that. That's a really thin log. That's super solid.
Yeah.
To go under there.
Agreed, I agree.
Yeah.
And then we can clear this out a little more.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And then here, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
It'd be nice to eventually clear all of this out so that it's like really pretty.
Yeah, I agree. So I feel like I've been a little traumatized from this whole bridge experience, from the last bridge experience. I'm like, I have like I have emotions towards this, but we got this. All we gotta do is cut the boards down the size.
Yep.
Cut the logs that we want, place them. They don't even have to be rebarred in.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can, that'd be better, but they don't even think they need to be.
Yeah, we just need to do a little like
thing.
Like a concave thing for the log. So it's set.
Yeah. And then bolt them in, put some fishnet on that sucker, and add a handrail. High five. Yeah, call it a day.
Call it a bridge.
Oh my gosh. Like, I get like my stomach feels like uneasy about the whole thing from the last process.
Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Those little baby devil's claw club.
They're ready to
Those
be
are the
eaten.
ones you can eat.
Yum.
They're tender.
Delicious. So I've been trying to teach myself how to make really yummy and perfect corn tortillas while we've been here, because we bought 2 really big bags of maseca because we figured what would be the point of buying corn tortillas when we can just make some corn tortillas. So my mom bought a tortilla press, some parchment paper here, got my mixture here, and yeah, I'm gonna make some fresh tortillas. It's kind of my new favorite little hobby thing to do, because I've been trying to perfect them for the past like week here. I either make the mixture too moist or not moist enough, or I don't press them right, or I don't cook them for long enough, or I don't cook them, or I cook them for too long. So I've been trying to get them down really well, because we have met a few of our neighbors here in the RV park now, and something that I really want to do before the end of the summer is make fish tacos for everyone when I catch some of my first fish here on the island. So I've been trying to perfect my cooking so I can cook for everybody. So that's what we're doing. would say these tortillas turned out pretty okay. Yum, fresh corn tortillas, deliciosos. We're making tacos. Yum. I've been cooking with a lot of this chipotle chili powder that I got from the DeKalb market in Atlanta, in the DeKalb area of Atlanta, Georgia. And this stuff is so good. I'm gonna have to have my cousin send me more of this when it's gone, because oh my goodness, so good. Now tell me these don't look like they came off a cart.
No, William. He's chewing his foot. So good.
I swear, people on this island are so nice. Our neighbor, his name's Chuck, he gave us some crab that they crabbed today. Wow. How do you? Wow. I don't even know how to eat that.
And some just go like that. Remember we used to eat crab legs
When I was a kid.
Yeah. You have to have something to break it.
Sorry, my vegans and vegetarian viewers. I know this might be a little much, so skip through it. But just know that all of this stuff is all ethically fished, and it's caught by hand by people, under the rules and regulations of fishing and fishing game out here. So it's ethically done. But
I know.
I guess ethics could be.
I'm on.
Yeah. Is it good? Oh my god. I guess ethics could be debated.
Garlic oil.
William. I'm really excited because today I am getting a fishing rod and fishing gear, and I'm going to learn how to fish like a real grandpa, and that's why I got my suspenders on. My name is Lumberloo, and today my dream is coming alive. I don't know what I'm doing. There's so many different lures. All right, it's a bust today, guys. The permitting website is closed, or not closed. It's not working. It's down. And we talked to somebody in town, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that happens occasionally. It usually comes back in a few hours." So I'm just like, well.
But on a brighter note, we got a new can opener, which we desperately needed.
It's a little bit of a bust, but I'm thinking we're not really meant to go out there. I didn't want to say it before, but I was talking to the guy who owns the RV park that we're staying in, and he said that there was a brown bear seen not too far from where we were going to go fishing today. So, and I asked him, I was like, "Oh, so is it not safe to go out there right now?" He's like, "Oh no, you'll be fine. Just like pay attention and like, yeah." He's like, "You have your dogs, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, you'll be totally fine." Anytime you tell a person that you have dogs and you're going out there, like always like, you're totally fine when you have dogs, because bears, they're scared of them.
I'm scared of brown bears.
I'm scared of brown bears. Ooh, I don't know what William and Lady would do.
Ain't gonna lie.
Lady would bark.
Lady would bark. She would.
Which I don't know if would be.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's good to keep them on a leash, though.
Oh yeah. I feel like she would chase a brown bear.
Yeah. So we're not gonna go fishing today. We both wanted to. We were prepared. I have all the stuff now, so that's good. And I have a cooler now to keep the fish after we, do what we gotta do to gut it and stuff. Sorry to the people again who are vegan or vegetarian. I totally respect your diet. Don't worry, and I totally understand that if you're not cool with it, if that's the thing that really bothers you, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go fishing. That's just who I am, and I'm trying to do it as ethically as I possibly can. Obviously, killing a living thing is, for some people, not you're not down for that. But for me, I just see fishing. Oh yes, and I'm sitting in the back of the van without a seatbelt on. Yeah, I just think that, like, for me, I really do enjoy consuming seafood. I do enjoy consuming fish, and that's like one of the things that I do eat as being more of a plant-based person. But I do believe that if I'm going to do it, I need to do it on my own. If we're in an area where I can fish my own fish instead of getting fish from a farm, getting fish from a store that was like farmed or transported like really, really far and used a lot of gasoline and stuff to get it to where it is in the store, I think it's better to fish it yourself and thank it. Like, I really appreciate what Indigenous and Native peoples do, like how they like thank the animals when they hunt or fish, and they just thank them, and I think that is just like really beautiful. And if I'm gonna consume it, I think that's what I should do. You should thank the fish personally for almost killed us.
Sorry.
You should thank the fish personally if you are going to consume it. So for me, morally, I got food on, or what, I got something on me. For me, ethically and morally, it feels okay. Like, everybody's different, and I think that more people need to respect each other in terms of like what they want to do with their lives. Everybody has different morals and ethics, and I get that, and I get people wanting to be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, but at the same time, it's like, for me, it makes sense because I see that like other things that, like, if I were to just eat solely plant-based, they also take resources from this earth. So anyways, I'm going to rant on about it.
Let's not talk about the avocado industry.
Yeah. I think that for everyone it's different. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even feel like I need to explain myself. It's more of a subsistence thing. Like, food up here is not cheap, and one of the ways people provide for themselves up here is fishing, and I want to be a part of the culture up here, and I want to, yeah, I basically kind of want to assimilate to like what people do up here for a living. It's subsistence living, and there's plenty of bounty up here. I really love how Alaska, seemingly what I know about it so far, how they regulate things so that non-residents aren't coming in like us and like overfishing. Like, we're not overfishing anything. The water, they do a really good job of protecting the ocean here and trying to keep like wastewater out, sewage out, like keeping the water levels healthy so that the life in the water can be something that you can benefit from. So that is just where I am at in my life. I used to be a hardcore vegan, and I think a lot of my opinions on it have changed. I'm still more of a plant-based person. I'm still very conscious about what I eat and what I purchase and all of that, especially when I can, because sometimes you're in a situation where there is no availability. Things are really expensive here. All of that soy stuff that people get, all of the like diet cheese stuff, all of that, for one, it does use a lot of water resources to grow and manufacture that stuff and transport it. But for two, it's very expensive, and the options here for like proteins and things like tofu, things like that, is very limited as well as very expensive. So you kind of have to adapt. And for me, morally and ethically, I believe that, yeah, fishing your own fish is the way to go, or buying it locally. That's kind of what we've been doing. Two people have gifted us salmon in the past month. Like, there's a large bounty of food up here. People are sharing. It's a wonderful thing. I think it's actually, if you allow yourself to be like, okay, I understand that other people live in different ways. I might not agree, and like research how those things work. Like, it's actually a beautiful thing what the fishing up here is like. It makes me so mad when I'm watching like TikToks of Indigenous people and them talking about their culture and like showing like how they eat and stuff, and people are like commenting the meanest things, like you're like a murderer and things like that. It's like, these people have subsisted off of this way of living for years. Like, why can't you just respect that? I mean, not just years, thousands and thousands of years. I believe the first Indigenous people to cross Bering Strait here to here in Alaska was over 80,000 years ago. I believe that's correct. It might be 50,000. Look it up. It's a very interesting story. So people have been doing this for millennium. So I think that there just needs to be more love and respect for people and their choices. Like, yeah, that's my main problem with just like being a part, like labeling your diet. yeah, I know this is gonna probably upset a lot of people, but that's just my opinion. And yeah. So this is where I was supposed to fish today.
He loves drinking water.
It's beautiful nonetheless. Look at that.
There's kelp or whatever.
Yeah.
Just seawater.
Is it salt water? It might be.
It's gotta be salt water.
I don't know. It smells kind of salty. Maybe it's brackish. Whoa. Whoa. I don't know if a slough is the same thing as an estuary. We saw some fish in the water jumping. Where? Oh. There's an eagle all the way over there. It's doing exactly what we're doing. It's fishing as well. Well, we're not fishing, but the fish are flipping. As soon as I turn the camera on, it stops. That's always what happens. Murphy's Law of video recording. There's a bunch of little fish in there. Definitely not big enough to keep, but get off the rock. I swear. The fish are playing games. Oh, there we go. There it is. Oh, William, you're okay, honey. You're so beautiful! It works as two things, scaring the bears away, as well as expressing your love towards this beautiful planet. It's a multi-purpose technique. All right, so I'm in charge of the fire and Mom is...
Now, mind you, I don't have any teaspoons or tablespoons. I only have cup measures, so I eyeballed it. So
It's probably gonna be fine.
let's see what kind of a baker I am.
This is the best type of baking when you're... when you don't know what baking is a science, it's chemistry. But it'll be fine. You got the mama's touch. So we obtained ourselves a good old Dutch oven. And we're gonna do some cooking on it. Oh my gosh.
I don't know how these are gonna come out.
Hot! We really need to get a...
We need to get
Poker.
those tongs.
That'll work. It's proven time and time again. We just peeked inside and it's working. It looks so cool. I can't believe we're cooking with fire. This is the reveal. Yeah, you got it. It's not hard. Yeah. Oh.
I think they're...
Do they look done to you?
Oh no, they're not done.
Longer?
Yeah.
All right, here's the
I
finished.
don't care. I'm gonna eat the burnt bottoms.
This is our first time cooking with a Dutch oven over an open fire.
Actually, really yummy.
Yeah. And my mom used a recipe from this book called Jubilee, if you've ever seen High on the Hog on Netflix. It's recipes from 2 centuries of African American history. cuisine. So we're trying to cook more out of that book because we got really inspired by High on the Hog, and you know, if you haven't seen that show yet, you should watch it. It is so inspiring. It's very, very good and very informative. But yeah, so we tried to make the cinnamon rolls from there over the open fire. The recipe's good.
The recipe's good.
We're just learning how to get. But okay, so the thing about these though is that they're very like fluffy. There are no rise cinnamon roll. We don't have any sugar to make an icing for it.
Also, the recipe calls for cake flour, which is like lighter. And I didn't use exact measurements, so I just kind of like, this looks like it'll work. So I think they came out pretty good for that fact.
Yeah, next time, so we put coals directly under the Dutch oven. Next time we're gonna lift the Dutch oven up and then put coals on top, and that will create more airspace so that the bottoms don't get burnt. We're learning. It's really fun to cook over an open fire, in my opinion. It teaches you a lot. They taste like biscuits, like fluffy biscuits.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hot.
Some days I'm like, it feels really complicated and stressful.
Yeah,
But most days
are wonderful. Days like this, I'm like, this is why I live this life.
when we get to do the fun stuff that like we're here to do, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love building that trail. It's so like satisfying. I think it'll just feel really good once we have somewhere to park the cars.
Yeah, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I go between like thinking about the whole picture just in the dreamy way, like, oh my gosh, and that just brings me so much joy, and then the reality of the work is like jarring. But then I also go between like thinking about how much needs to be done to get to that like point, you know. And I have to keep reminding myself, like, it's a process. It's, you know, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen. We're not living in a reality TV show. It's not going to happen in one summer. You know,
No,
like,
especially since we've never been here before.
yeah, and so I have to appreciate what the process that's happening right now.
And doing the stuff
You
that
know?
we've been wanting to do all summer long,
Exactly.
like cooking outside and
And just
going
being,
hiking and
Yeah.
learning how to fish and like the fun stuff.
being in freaking Alaska. Like, holy
Where
smokes.
look where we are.
Like I was telling you before, this is the first place I've ever chosen
To live.
to live as an adult woman. Like,
On your own.
on my own, with nobody, no husband, no parents,
Telling
no
you have to do it.
whatever. Yeah, telling me like, oh, we've got to do this, or like making compromising, or you know, that
Or
kind
no
of thing.
societal expectations.
Yeah,
like,
and that's beautiful. But then there's the process of like developing that like attachment to home.
I feel like it's gonna take making memories in
Yeah.
order to feel like this is home.
Yeah.
Like we for a fact love it here, and we
Yeah.
want to stay here, and we know it for like I personally do, and I know you do because
I
we're
love it.
always
Yeah, I love
on the
it
same
here.
page about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
And I do. I really love it here. Like,
Takes
the
memories.
more time we spend here, and the more things, and like the more things we do like this, where these are things we've talked about and dreamt about, like being out in nature, cooking out in nature, just being one with nature.
yeah,
You know?
I mean, and all the foraging we've been able to do,
Yeah.
and like. I just love it how easy it is to do that here. Like
Yeah.
it's something we wanted to
just
do, but it's just so
it's
bountiful here.
natural, and it's like natural. It's not like forced, you know? It's not
It's
like
a part of like the culture here and the
Yeah.
day-to-day life that it's not like you're pushing yourself outside of a box to do
Yeah,
it. Like
exactly.
it's just kind of handed to you, which I love.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this, or watching shows like Northern Exposure, or like all of these, you know, small town shows where I would just be like, I want that life where it's like
Small.
you know, you walk, people know you, like you walk into a store, people know you,
Like
they
how
know,
we're starting to be like people
Yeah.
are starting to recognize us now, and it's like
yeah, and
and ask us about ourselves. Like be like, hey, I've seen you around a lot. Like
yeah, and
what
we've
are
only
you?
been here 6 weeks, just under 6 weeks.
Yeah, and people are like, I've seen you around. I just wanted to say hi and ask you
Yeah.
about the van. Or
Beautiful.
and people are so friendly. Like I just love it. People are generous here.
They
like,
are, and like
all the
these
people
complete strangers over there.
we're like, we're getting rid of cupcakes. We're
They
like,
bring
oh,
us
wow.
offers cupcakes. Like, that's community. That's like, I don't know, people are just, I feel like once we do start building, and the more people we know, we're gonna have local people up there helping us.
I would
Because they're
love
just
that.
gonna want to. They're gonna be like, I'll spend an afternoon helping you, you know?
Because we'll be hanging out.
Yeah,
And, like,
because we're part of the community.
just like how it didn't even take me a second to be like, when Courtney was like, oh yeah, I'm harvesting garlic. I was like, oh, we'll help you. Like, I was like, that sounds fun. Like, we can help you. Like, that's how it is here. People are like, well, I'm not really doing anything tomorrow. I can change my schedule around to help you. Like,
Yeah.
and like, I just want to hang out and get to know you. Like, that's fun. Like,
I love it. It's an adjustment though, you know? It's like an adjustment. Even though this is something that I wanted for so long, it's an adjustment from the life that I've known, you know? So it's like when people, I have a tendency I'm very suspicious of people and like untrusting, you know? And so it's going to take some time for me to like trust people and trust that people don't have bad intentions. Not saying that everybody on this island is amazing and like nobody has bad intentions, obviously.
there are bad people everywhere.
But for the most part,
99% of people are good.
yeah.
Even
and
around the world. This is
it's
helping me
true.
like remember that. After
yeah,
having so
the
many like,
humanity that people have.
traumatic experiences in the past 6 months with people, it's made me realize that.
Yeah. Like, I love it here. I do too. And the more we're here, the more I'm like, okay, this is definitely home.